This is problem set 6-4. Let's do the exercises first. Number 1, A, we're finding the dot product of these vectors. And so the first one is going to be negative 21 plus 2, which is negative 19. Second one is going to be negative 12 plus 30, which is 18. Next one is 4 plus 2, 6. Okay, now the problems. I think that's right. 4 plus 2. Yeah. Okay, problems. We're trying to find the angle between these vectors. So we're going to use our formula, right? Cosine theta equals u dot v over magnitude u times magnitude v. So for the first one, the dot product of these two vectors is going to be negative 30 plus 30. And so that's 0. We don't even need to calculate the denominator because the numerator is just 0. So that tells us that theta is pi over 2. Because cosine of pi over 2 is 0. Next one. For this one, cosine theta equals u dot v, which is negative 8, right? Because v does not have an x component, so it's 3 times 0 plus 4 times negative 2. And then the magnitude of u is 5. And the magnitude of v is 2. Sorry, not root 5. All right, it forms a 3, 4, 5 triangle. So it's the square root of 9 plus 16, which is square root 25, which is 5. And then the magnitude of v is 2. And so cosine theta is negative 8 over 10, which is negative 4/5. So that tells us that theta equals arc cosine of negative 4/5. And this is something that we cannot simplify. And so we leave it like that. Next one, find the angle theta between the vectors. So here we have u equals cosine pi over 3i plus sine pi over 3j. Let me write these out first. Let me do it the long way first, and then I'll show you the trick for doing it quickly, which you guys should be able to think about. So cosine pi over 3 is 1/2. So we have 1/2 I plus root 3 over 2j. And then v is equal to negative root 2 over 2i plus root 2 over 2j. All right. Let's calculate the magnitude of these things. Magnitude of u is going to be 1. I can tell that just by looking at it because I know that cosine squared plus sine squared is always going to be 1. So I know the magnitude has to be 1, but I'll calculate it out just for good measure. It's going to be 1 squared plus root 3 over 2 squared, which is 1/4 plus 3/4, which is 1, obviously. And then v is also going to be magnitude 1, because this is just 1/2 plus 1/2. Okay, and so I know that cosine theta is going to equal u dot v over magnitude u times magnitude v, which is, the denominator is just 1, and so all I care about is the numerator, which is going to be negative root 2 over 4 plus root 6 over 4. Okay, and so I could write my angle as theta equals arc cosine root 6 minus root 2 over 4. Now, I would be okay with you leaving it like this on a quiz. But if you're clever, you should have remembered from maybe some past homeworks that this is actually going to equal 5 pi over 12. Okay? You could have calculated 5 pi over 12 using cosine addition or subtraction formulas. But let me show you guys how you would find that out geometrically. Let's write this smarter way. The smarter way is not actually to use the formula at all, but simply to sketch these vectors out and see what their angles would be. So u evidently is this vector. This must be u because it's simply the unit vector that points in the direction of pi over 3, right? If this were a unit circle, then this point would have coordinates cosine pi over 3 comma sine pi over 3 based on the components that were given. So this angle must be pi over 3. However, where's v, right? V is simply right here. And this angle here is 3 pi over 4 based on the components cosine 3 pi over 4 comma sine 3 pi over 4. And so what does that tell us about the angle in between? This simply tells us that theta is going to equal 3 pi over 4 minus pi over 3, which is 5 pi over 12. Okay, so that's the smart way of doing it. And we'd like to be smart, so let's do it that way. Number 4, find u dot v if u magnitude is 4 and v magnitude is 10, angle is 2 pi over 3. So here we're going to use the formula cosine theta equals u dot v over magnitude u, magnitude v. If we rearrange this, this becomes u dot v equals magnitude u, magnitude v, cosine theta. That's simply the equation we're going to use. Magnitude u is 4, and magnitude of v is 10, and theta is 2 pi over 3. And so cosine 2 pi over 3 is simply negative half. So this is 40 times negative 1/2, which is negative 20. And that would be our answer.